Hey, is that folk music that you play there? What is that? How do you call that folk music?
I think it was Studs Terkel who asked Big Bill Brunzi, did he consider his blues music to be folk music? And Big Bill says, well, never heard no horse.
Shoo bob shooby doo doo booby doo dow.
Bang! Hot dog!
Don't hesitate! It could be your ticket to a new tomorrow!
Ponderosa and pinyon pine, the high chaparral neath the borderline, trying hard to lose, trying hard to find, horse and a mule, way past summertime. This was my world, this was all I knew. Barbed wire and blankets and a steel horseshoe. No luck in leaving 10,000 clues. No one will find or follow you. Ponderosa, Ponderosa, and pinyon pine. Windows, stone fireplace, horse tack on shelving in a cluttered space. Not at all a place for calico and lace. Not where I thought I'd ever see your face. My father told me this was no life, with the wind so bold and the frost a knife. But no book learning can tell it right about the solitude of the snowy white. Ponderosa, Ponderosa, and pinyon pine. White the shoulders, black velvet night, unlaced and cold in the flickering light. And warm hands fumble with the button eyes, coarse and humble, fingers untied. How did find me? How did you know? With a blizzard blinding, piling up the snow. Shack on the edge of this borderline, a crackling fire of resinous pine. Ponderosa, ponderosa, and pinyon pine.
Yeah. Cool song.
Thank you, Ralph.
We're on Horses Sing None of It. My name is Ralph Litwin. And in
Nice
this
to,
corner,
nice to meet you.
in the velvet green smoking jacket, Jack Hardy. Welcome.
I don't even smoke.
Welcome again.
Thank you.
You're smoking now.
Haven't been here since 1995. That was a good year.
I guess it was. I don't remember much of it, but
Well,
no, I wasn't.
good vintage.
Why don't you introduce us to your bandmates here?
Well, over here we have Ken Cardinal Beasley on the red bass. You can always tell the Cardinals are the ones with the red basses.
Hey, Ken.
Right. Hi there.
And over here we have Cool Hand Luke Hendon on the lead guitar.
All right.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You want to blast ahead?
Was in tune when I bought it. And the moon was full at night in the big old Texas skies, swaying in the breeze with the live oak trees dancing heel and toe. Music loud and clear that you never hear on the radio. Falling in love with you. And the leather braid flip-flops and the tie-dyed halter tops. I was mesmerized by your silent eyes, wished it never stopped. All the curving lines and the swirling wine turned my heart in knots. Falling in love with you. There were secrets in your hand that I could not understand. Tucked away tattoo and the scent of you, faded yellow rose. But I'm in love with you, I will play the fool, that's the way it goes. Falling in love with you. The morning light was hard, the embers black and charred. I should have seen right from the start you'd go and break my heart. But the moon was full at night in the big old Texas skies, swaying in the breeze with the live oak trees dancing heel and toe. Music music loud and clear that you never hear on the radio. Falling in love with you, falling in love with you, falling in love with you.
Yeah. I almost feel like I have to do this.
Well, we still do that at our songwriters meeting, but that's mostly because finger snaps make less noise than applause, so it doesn't bother the neighbors. The music never bothers them, but if you get 30 people, applauding, it wreaks havoc on the
That many
neighborhood.
people at the songwriters group, eh?
They've been big lately.
Why don't we read a few things about you? The weekly Songwriters Workshop, which Jack has hosted for many years, taught and nurtured countless songwriters, not the least of which are Suzanne Vega, John Gorka, Sean Colvin, Richard Schindel, and David Massengill. Fast Folk Musical Magazine, which he founded and edited, released the first recordings of most of the artists currently headlining folk festivals. And I particularly like this one from the New York Times. Jack Hardy must be getting a little tired of being discovered, but here he goes again.
Yeah, that was written in 1977. Well, I'm still a rumor in my own time. This is a song that's in memory of the poet Federico Garcia Lorca, who was killed by the fascists during the Spanish Civil War. Came to love those sad eyes that could not hold their sorrow, looking out the window for hours, holding a cold cup of tea. Came to love those sad eyes that could not see beyond the pain, the reflection of the candle wax melting into a sea. Far away across the ocean, stones hold their history. The light and airy window sash is the light of poetry. The fascists came, a sudden thud. They overran Granada, books and papers on the floor, spectacles bent and broken. Came to love those sad eyes that held for us these memories. The firing squad and the warm wind blowing through the curtain cloth.
All right. Any of these songs on your CD,
No,
Omens?
no.
That would be too much like conventional wisdom.
That would be too commercial.
But folks can look for information about this new CD of Jack's, Omens, on his website, www.jackhardy.com. I
Yeah.
have that right?
I'm a .com.
You're a .com. And they can find out information by telephone by calling 1-800-PRIME-CD.
Okay.
And there's also links on that website to other Jack Hardy websites.
Renegade ones even. Let's do a song off that album. I ought to know more than I know. I ought to know where this road goes. I ought to know great literature by heart, the history of art. This I ought to know. I ought to know more than 1492. I ought to know what the Buffalo Bills do. I ought to know more than the quarterback's wounded knee would happen at Sand Creek. This I ought to know, but I don't. I ought to know about the sacrifices made. I ought to know ration stamps, air raids. I ought to know more than George C. Scott and John Wayne get shot. This I ought to know. I ought to know what the drinking gourd means. I ought to know more than I have a dream. I ought to know about the back of the bus and the crack of billy clubs. This I ought to know, but I don't. I don't know nothing about nothing, but I'm proud to stand upright. I don't know nothing about nothing, but my future looks so bright, illumined by the lights, laugh track sound bites, and replay to get it right. I ought to know. Songs at Joe Hill. I ought to know Trotsky, Marx, and Hegel. I ought to know about the Haymarket hangings and the HUAC. This I ought to know. I ought to know about Oliver Cromwell. I ought to know about the Gnostics and St. Paul. I ought to know what Jesus really said and who the preacher takes to bed. This I ought to know, but I don't. I ought to know what's buried in the landfill. I ought to know about the clear-cutting bills. I ought to know about pipelines and schemes, what extinction really means. This I ought to know. I ought to know for whom the bell tolls. I oughta know the Pride and Prejudice of Poles. I oughta know that the grapes of wrath are union picked by Victor Hara's hands. This I oughta know, but I don't. I don't know nothing about nothing, but I'm proud to stand upright. I don't know nothing about nothing, but my future looks so bright, illumined by the lights, laugh tracks, sound bites, and a replay to get it right. I oughta know.
All right. It's a rocker. Nice guitar picking too there, Luke.
Thank you.
Beautiful stuff. Got 6.5 minutes left to go for your time frame reference.
Okay. Might as well fill it up singing. 'Cause nobody likes to hear us talk. Wondering how you'll spend the night on a threadbare couch again, thinking about this traveling life on a road that never ends, in a small North Texas town, far from home and all alone. Cattle yards and coal trains drowned, the only sounds you call your own. You will leave no trace at all if you go or if you stay. Ghostly caballeros call, andale, oh, andale. Wondering if you'll spend the night. Will she take you home at last? Late night barroom, bedroom eyes, inviting you to break your fast. All the times you've said before, I can't go there anymore, as the loneliness gnaws inside. Past the moment to decide. You will leave no trace at all if you go or if you stay. Ghostly caballeros call, andale, oh, andale. Wondering if you'll last the night. Rolling coal trains never end. Grasp the red draw communion wine, as if it was your long lost friend. On the railroad right away, kicking cinders down the track. Dawn is just a step away. Now you know you can't go back. You will leave no trace at all if you go or if you stay. Ghostly caballeros call, andale, oh, andale. You will leave no trace at all if you go or if you stay. Ghostly caballeros call, andale, oh, andale.
Love your stuff, Jack.
So you want to play harmonica with us?
Sure do.
This is a perfect song for it.
All
This
right.
is called The Moon is Full, It's Just Not Hungry Anymore.
Thanks for joining us on Horses Sing None of It, fellas.
Well, thanks for having us.
Pleasure.
And this one a horse could easily sing. The moon is full, it's just not hungry anymore. It's trying to pull its heart right out that door. You're planning to leave and say so long. You could not be more gone. The moon is full, it's just not hungry anymore. Try to appease that roving appetite. To some it's a tease, to some a slice of life. I'm begging you please just to change your mind, and please just come back home. The moon is full, it's just not hungry anymore. Started to crave a taste of something new, when all you could take you took from this old fool. And though I could wait until the cows come home, the dish ran away with the spoon. The moon is full, it's just not hungry anymore. Soon it will rise, that moon it denies, that it ever once had needs, that it ever once said please, begging down on its knees. When the moon is at bow, it smiles with big green